Hello, everyone. Thank you for attending my webinar entitled PR for Facebook, Developing a Reputable Fan Base. First, I think I'll tell you a little bit about myself and why I chose to do this particular topic for my webinar. My name is Kyrie Morrow of KyrieIs.com. I am a few months shy from getting my master's in public relations at Full Sail University. I am currently a PR director at G&M Auto Sales, and my degrees prior to this were into music and entertainment. I have my bachelor's in music production and recording. I am also a vocalist, and I play the piano. So I chose the topic that I chose for this webinar not only to benefit my viewers and educate them on the basics of PR for Facebook, but also to help me further develop my skills as a PR professional. So moving on to how does one define Facebook? Well, there are a variety of definitions for this. I'm pretty sure everyone has their own definition. However, my basic definition for Facebook would be a social networking site allowing its users to keep in touch with friends, family, and/or colleagues. One may also share multimedia content such as video, imaging, and audio files. So today we will answer two primary questions. The agenda consists of why is Facebook important in marketing? For instance, why do we care? Why do companies use Facebook for promotions? The second question would be, what are the steps to structuring an effective fan page via Facebook? So it's not enough just to create a fan page. You have to utilize the tools that are in place, all the way from the cover image to the profile picture, all the way down to the timeline and the applications that are at our disposal that few people probably are aware of. So again, the first question was, why is Facebook important in marketing? Well, Facebook is important in marketing because there are over 800 million users. 50% of those users utilize Facebook on a daily basis for at least 30 minutes each session. Well, if you're anything like me, you only use Facebook 2 to 3 times a week, and when you are on Facebook, you only stay on for 5 to 10 minutes. When I'm on Facebook, I only use it for business purposes, so my sessions are pretty short. I analyze data and I go on to the next thing, Google Plus, check my email, and so on. With that said, 800 million users, 50% utilize Facebook each day. Chances are any given demographic is on Facebook, meaning your target market is there. Your audience uses Facebook without a doubt. So on to the next point. Internet users spend 4 times more time on Facebook than Google. Now, this is hard to believe because I use Google myself. I think I use Google more than I use Facebook. I Google movies coming out, video games coming out, and new music, and etc., etc. But this statistic includes Google applications such as Google Plus, Gmail, and Google Maps. That means that Facebook is a pretty big deal when it comes to marketing because Google is kind of huge. I imagine Google being used more often, but according to my resources and my studies, Facebook is utilized 4 times more than Google is. Now, for structuring an effective fan page via Facebook, I have listed 6 steps that I think most important when marketing on Facebook. So, step 1, well, you want to set your cover photo. Although this concept seems basic and probably the last thing you have to worry about. It's actually one of the first things you want to worry about and address. The reason for it being important in marketing through Facebook is because this is what people see. This is what the audiences see and want to see. Honestly, I'd look at a photo before I read your about page. I mean, let's face it, most people probably don't want to read. Um, they rather see the visual. So the visual of your company should be in that cover photo. So maybe a picture of the facility would be nice, and if it's not a facility associated with the brand, then possibly the brand name and a little artistic background, original of course, and make it pop out so people will know as soon as they visit this page. They won't have to scroll down to find out who you are. They can see it through your image. As soon as they see this page, they know what this is about, and they can like it, or they would be driven to look further into your brand. With that said, it's not enough to have the proper content in the image. You also have to have the correct size. So this new feature, this cover photo, Facebook supports an 851 by 351 pixel image. This means that your image should be around that size in order to get the intended quality that Facebook had in mind when creating this feature. Now, step 2, setting your profile picture is probably the most important of the two images. Your cover photo is important, however, your profile picture could be more important. The reason for that is because when you upload new content such as imaging and video, or you just want to make your audience aware of new brand promotions and so on, this is the image that they will see next to the notification that they receive. This image doesn't really need too much in it at all. Like, no words, absolutely no text in this image. The reason for that is, it only supports up to 180 pixels by 180 pixels. It can go all the way down to 32 by 32 pixels, but it can't go above 180 by 180 pixels. With that said, look at how small that image is. You don't want to make your audience struggle to read what you're trying to say in your profile picture. So instead, why not include a company logo or a image of the brand? Say, for example, if you're promoting an artist, an image of the artist would be sufficient. Now, step 3 is the about section. This section is where you would include that text that I was speaking of earlier that you don't want to include in the profile picture. However, this about section, as you can see, it is 2 subcategories, the biography and the description. So in the about section, you don't want to give them a life story. In the about section, I would say no more than 1 sentence. Now, ignore what is in that about section. As you can see right here, all it says is I love what I do, and what I do is music. Yes, you want to say what the company does or the brand. That is pretty much the gist of it. Let's say if Walmart was to create a Facebook about section, it would go something like, Walmart is a place that sells consumer goods and services to its customers. Something like that, and it's 1 sentence. And then in the biography, you would put something like founded in whenever Walmart was founded. So the about section could be fairly simple. Just save that text for the about section. Do not try to fit it into the images and the profile. Definitely not the profile picture. That's a big no-no. Step 4, adding and utilizing apps and ads, is the place in which you would reap most of the benefits that Facebook has to offer when it comes to marketing. They can be used in a variety of ways. For instance, they can reiterate a call to action, present more images to viewers or audiences, or give more information through ad promotions. Now, I wasn't really going to cover how to install the apps or develop ads. However, at the end of this presentation, I will gladly present the information needed to learn more about installing apps or developing ads. But for now, I just wanted to point out that these are absolutely necessary when trying to promote a brand through a Facebook fan page. This is where Facebook really shines. Now, step 5, the timeline. It seems fairly simple because everyone knows what the timeline is. However, when it comes to marketing, this is what I meant by this webinar. I chose this topic for my webinar so I could educate myself as well and hone my skills as a PR professional. I just noticed from doing research for this webinar that you can actually put your most popular post or your favorite post, you can make them stay at the top of your timeline for up to 7 days. I did not know that, and now that I know that, it is definitely a powerful tool for promoting a brand and a product, because you want to, let's say if I upload a new music video or something like that, I don't want it to fall to the bottom of my timeline in 2 days. I want it to stay up there because to give people time to view it and catch on to the content that I am presenting. So the timeline is very important, and it has more features than the obvious. You don't just type and let people know what you're doing or what the company is doing. You actually reiterate what the company is doing by making those popular posts or your favorite post or most beneficial post stay at the top of that timeline. Now, step 6 is like one of my favorites. The reason for that is because I love to analyze data, and this kind of gives the company or brand a nice layout of where they are as far as company promotions. As you can see here, there's various different tabs you can use. I didn't know about analyzing data until I messed with, at first I was messing with Google Analytics. That's a good tool as well. Kind of looks almost the same as this right here. You have how many people liked your page. It gives you the date in which those people liked your page. It gives you your outreach, your target audience, and who you are reaching. I think on this particular tool here, it even has gender separation. Are you reaching a female or a male audience? How long people are staying on your page? What content are they viewing the most? So this can be very useful. Analyzing data is very important when promoting a fan page, especially if you want to build your fan base, because you need to interact with your audience a certain way. And to know how you need to interact with that audience, you need to know exactly how they are responding to what you are presenting. And analyzing data can tell you just that. So this is by far my favorite and one of the most important things you can do when promoting a fan page. Now, this is my final slide. I just wanted to point out one of my sources of information, which is Mark Killens. He lists the best practices for developing a reputable fan base. And as you can see, the first bullet lists publishing more visual content. And then here at the second to last one, we got making sure your best posts appear on your timeline. Then we have pinning new featured promotions every 7 days. This is the thing I was talking about when the timeline, you can make sure your most popular or beneficial posts stay on top. Now here you have the information that I promised you earlier on in this webinar about how to create ads and install apps. Just follow the hyperlinks below this video. Thank you for coming.